Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning semua. Alhamdulillah, pada hari ini kita sempat bersama-sama di dalam kelas virtual. I'm sorry that I couldn't attend your class today because I'm on my MC. Sakit kaki lah, okay. Malam tadi pergi klinik, so ini lagi MC. This week we discuss about our next topic, which is research design and proposal writing. Okay, in this slide, the learning objective, after we have finished the presentation for today, you will be able to understand what is a research design and the three types of the research design, and you'll be able to explain what is cross-sectional and longitudinal, and then we will discuss about your research proposal to submit your chapter 1. Okay, if you look here in this slide, there are three research designs. Okay, three research design. You need to remember, always remember, three research design. So basically, the research design is rooted from two types of research basically that you need to understand. First is basic research, and the other one is applied research. So for the basic research, or known as the fundamental research, is the creation of new knowledge. Example, the types of research that is meant for fundamental is you are developing new theory, you are constructing a new model, or you're creating new framework. Okay, so it is not exist in the literature, but you are creating new one. Okay, single new one. That's what you call basic research or fundamental research. Whereas for the applied research, you use whatever that is being exist or in the existence in the literature. Example, you use the existing model, the existing framework, the existing theory, and you just apply the theory in your current research. You might want to adapt it, to modify it, to improve it, to innovate it. That's what you call the applied research. So now, when all of you have your own pilot paper and you are conducting a new study, but you are getting other or somebody's or someone's theory or someone's model, and then you double and put it in your research, that's what you call applied. So all of you are using applied type of research. Whereas if you are not going to discuss any of the existing theory or to utilize the existing theory, that you are providing some more creative idea in order for you to contribute to a new knowledge. You're creating new model, new framework, new theory. That's what we call fundamental research. This fundamental research is the basis of the breakthrough of knowledge in this world. Okay, so rooted three research design from two general research types, basic research, and the other one is applied research. So if you look here in this slide, exploratory research, you are the one who are exploring that area or field. You go to the North Pole, South Pole, you explore the cave inside water, on top of the, example, on top of a mountain, or you go to a harsh and extreme weather. That's what you call exploratory research. It is much more on you go to the field and then explore. You go deep into the jungle to explore the unknown species. You go deep into the jungle to meet the unique indigenous tribe. Okay, that's what you call exploratory. Dia meneroka. Okay, meneroka. Alright, that is exploratory. if you look the other one, this one is descriptive research. Descriptive research is much more on you explain or describe, menjelaskan sesuatu, menerangkan sesuatu. You use the existing theory, utilizing with the current issue, and then you engage it together, and then you describe the phenomenon, you describe the characteristic. You example, you identify that there is an issue of cleanliness in certain restaurant. Then you want to describe what make that restaurants not clean, what makes people dissatisfied, what makes people hold back from visiting that restaurant. So you might want to understand the behavior of people, the willingness to pay of the people, the motivation of the people, the happiness of the people, the likelihood of the increased visitation to certain area. So you might want to understand the pattern, right? So all those are known in the circle of descriptive research. Okay, if you look here and at the point second, answer the question of who, what, where, when, and how a particular issue or situation. Alright, it is much more on the you narrate, you describe, so everything which is very unclear, which is very vague, so you might want to make it very explainable, right? Descriptive, apa namanya, descript, menerangkan, perjelaskan, menjelaskan. And you might want to leave it for a while for the cross sectional and longitudinal and causal research. Causal research ni lebih kurang lebih cause and effect. Terjadinya sesuatu perkara, maka barulah ada kajian. Contoh, there is a landslide happening in that area, then there is a dire need for the local authority to conduct further investigation, further study. Contoh macam terjadi tanah runtuh batang kali. So that penyebab, dan ada efek ni kita buat kajian mendalam berkenaan dengan faktor geologi, faktor ekosistem, alright, faktor saliran, irrigation, whatsoever. So there will be rooms for discussion in terms of on that topic. Slide kan, landslide. Ada banjir, banjir berlaku dekat satu kawasan, maka perlu kepada penemuan-penemuan baru berdasarkan kepada further investigation or examination in that area, yang mana kita boleh mengurangkan ataupun memberi cadangan langkah-langkah bagaimana menghapuskan sisa-sisa yang menyebabkan berlaku congestion di dalam longkang, ya, macam itulah lebih kurang. Alright, jalan yang lurus mengurangkan kemalangan. Jalan yang bengkang-bengkok, dia membataskan pandangan, maka membahayakan kenderaan. Jadi perlu kepada satu pendekatan yang mana kita perlu kepada penyelidikan bagaimana mungkin boleh kita mengurangkan kadar kemalangan. Jalan yang bengkang-bengkok itu boleh diluruskan. Kalau tak boleh luruskan, apakah kaedah mekanism that we need to take a very serious and urgent action. Itu causal research kan, macam tu. Hujan lebat kemudian air bertakung, flash flood, so macam mana nak buat? So ada tak irrigation yang sewajarnya, sistem aliran yang sewajarnya? Itu causal research. Jadi explanatory, Okay, tu bila kita go back to the descriptive ni dia terbahagi lagi kepada dua, sebab kita nak menerangkan tu kaedah dia lah. First is known as cross-sectional. cross-sectional, kita concentrate much on the cross-sectional dulu lah, sebab cross-sectional ni it is widely adopted and by many researchers, and because the data is collected just once at a particular time to enable the researcher answer the research questions. Right, cross-sectional can be collected over a period of few days, weeks and months. Cross-sectional means that you are collecting data at one point at one time for several days, several months, several weeks. Example, you are conducting a study on satisfaction of site visit at a certain area, and then you are disseminating or distributing the questionnaire to the number of people who visited the area, and then did this self-administered survey ikut jadual. Katakan Monday 10-12, Selasa 2-4, Rabu 3-4, macam tu. So it will depend on the different type, different day, different weeks, and then the pattern follows for several weeks until you reach the sample size that you need. Okay, example that you plan to distribute the questionnaire for 100 respondents for at least 1 week duration. Every day you go out to the field and then you allocate and spend your time 2 hours per day. Okay, Selasa 1 day, Selasa 1 hour ke, 2 hours ke, 3 hours ke, depends on your time, and it should be different hours of the day, because you need to see the variance ataupun to see the unique pattern of behavior or the trend or the people at that area at different time and different days, kan at different weeks. Example, different weeks is also important because sometimes there will be festival events took place at that area at different or some other weeks. Alright, so it is you one time you go to that site and then you collect data, and it's a one-to-one. That's what cross-sectional study, and this cross-sectional study is widely adopted by many people versus this one, longitudinal study. Longitudinal study takes longer time because it happens different places at one time. Example, you are collecting data about the opinion, about the general opinion of people on draft, ataupun on the rainy days, example, that hinder them to go to the workplace, example. And you need to get a very comprehensive responses from many people out there, from different sites, different places. And what you need to do, so you do have an online questionnaire or questionnaire survey, or if you don't have, or if you don't tend or prefer to further to that approach online, you don't want to do online survey, you do your own field work, face-to-face, self-administered field work. Example, Monday 8-10, you go to Langkawi. At the same time 8-10 pagi dekat JB, at the same time 8-10 pagi dekat Melaka, and then Johor and Kuala Lumpur whatsoever. So different places, the same time, wider geographical area. Example, if you are in a very limited parameter, example, you are conducting a study about the willingness to pay among the visitors for the services in Bandar Melaka. And Bandar Melaka is very huge area. It comprises of at least 300 acres. Okay, so what you need to do, you collect data, different points, but at the same time. Example, 10 to 12. So some groups will be at Portuguese Square. There will be another group will be at the Dutch Square. There will be another group at the Melaka Raya. There will be another group at the Jonker area. So there will be another group and in any other place. So those groups are scattered in terms of they are about to collect data, self-administered questionnaire. Same time but different points, several times. Several points at one time. Macam tu lah. So kalau kaedah begini dia costly sikit lah sebab you need to pay for the enumerators. So ataupun the graduate research assistant to help you in order for you to complete your survey. So which one? So which approach do you think it is approachable? Both are approachable, tetapi yang paling ramai menggunakan pakai kaedah cross-sectional study. Alright, and the definition or the preferences between these two approaches depend on the type of research, depend on the likelihood of you or the convenience of the researcher to collect the data. Alright, now let us repeat the research design that you have learned today. First, exploratory, the other one descriptive, and the other one is causal research. When someone asks you what is your research design, so there is a probability that you will be answering with the three options. So you could answer, my research design is exploratory because I'm exploring the cave. Kan? I'm exploring the cave. I'm hiking on top of the mountain to study some specific specimen. Okay, nak belah hati nyamuk. Tujuh dulang hati nyamuk. Bagaimana? Ataupun you might want to explore certain phenomena. Example, you want to explore only the dew. Dew tu adalah embun lah, embun kan, embun di dalam hutan belum saja yang boleh cure sakit mata, example. And that the dew itself should be a droplet from certain species plant species saja, kan. Pukul berapa kata pula, pukul 5 pagi, a droplet of water, the dew. The dew they accumulate jadi drop of water at the tip of certain plant dekat dalam hutan belum pula, hutan belum forest tu, that can cure your sakit mata, your conjunctivitis, sakit mata kan. Itu namanya exploratory study. Dia nak kena explore, benda tu nak explore. Okay, benda macam itulah. Tetapi kalau kita melihat kepada trend, fenomena ataupun the pattern, the common one masuk dalam hutan, contoh tengok apa ni, habitat haiwan, tu semua lebih deskriptif lah sebab kita tak explore apa pun. Okay. Alright, the other one would be descriptive research. Descriptive, this is what happening now in the society, but needs special attention from researcher to explain further. So you might want to investigate the matter. Why is it people disconnected themselves from the society engagement, example. Why is it people feel so much angry at Israel, example, or the opinion, so might want to get the public opinion. Why is it that there is certain sentiment from society that identify that Hamas is like terrorist, to example macam tu. So you might want to identify, to understand what make them think like that. So that's what I call descriptive research, investigative. And the other one is causal research, but you want to relate the relationship between all this research, be it exploratory, cross-sectional, and the other one causal. So you need to come out with a very clear problem. You need to have very clear issue in order for you to conduct study. So any kind of research, you need to have an issue. If you have an issue, if you had an angle problem that you might want to solve, then that will be a very good investigation. Investigation is very important. But for research, you might want to investigate and examine something. Why you want to examine ataupun to investigate? Because you think it is very problematic that needs solution. Kalau kajian tu tak perlu kepada solution, then there will be no research needs to be conducted. Sebab tu kata research should be researchable. Penyelidikan ini sepatut dikaji. Kalau tak dikaji, it's not a research, because research is tied with the other one, the element of significant of study. Kepentingan kajian untuk apa dan siapa. This is very important. Kalau kepentingan kajian tu samar, tidak ada membawa manfaat kepada siapa dan kepada apa, untuk apa, tidak ada manfaat kepada masyarakat, maka penyelidikan itu adalah satu penyelidikan yang agak lemah, sebab dia tidak memberi kepada manfaat kepada negara whatsoever. Unit of analysis. Unit of analysis adalah benda perkara apa yang kita nak analyse. Kalau many of the tourism research, the unit of analysis could be object people. People is the visitor. Kalau kajian tu berkenaan dengan lebih kepada organisasi, kepada dia punya leadership style, daripada course leadership dia, kepada dia punya department dia, kan, macam tu. So unit of analysis lah apa benda yang kita nak analyse tu. Dia apa benda refers to the subject that is being studied in the research. Nak kaji apa. Kalau site satisfaction, you punya unit analysis adalah manusia ataupun the visitor yang visit to the site. That will, from the site visit, then there will be a likelihood that affect the level of their satisfaction, sama ada tinggi ataupun tiada kepuasan, ataupun dia punya kepuasan is just neutral, kan. Macam tu lah. Tak ada apa, ni biasa je lah. Okay. Alright, now your research proposal. So it is very important and it's very highly aware among the students from this class, research methodology. You need to come up with 3 chapters of your proposal. So dia kena produce at least 60 muka surat. Okay, 60 muka surat. So chapter 1 10, chapter 2 literature review 40, and the other one chapter 3 10 pages. So dia tu minimum lah. Okay, yang ni nak kena buat as detail as possible. It is a continuation of the manuscript that you have submitted before for the chapter and book, but those manuscript are the short version, but your proposal needs to be the longer and detailed version. Alright, so you might want to begin with the title of study, kan, table of content. So title of study, all of you have the title of your study. Table of content, you might want to leave it later. Abstract, leave it later. Introduction. So introduction, I'll give you the subtopic for the introduction in your tally group. So there will be 8 subtopics that you need to complete. So all of you need to work together in your own group. The discussion will be done this week. And the submission for chapter 1 will be next week before you going out for holiday for 1 week. And then the submission will be in the near future. So if you do have any question that you may want to ask me in the Telegram group. Okay. And then after you coming back from your 1 week semester break, Then we'll be going to discuss further how might want to write the literature review. The literature review is much more on the comprehensive one. It is a very detailed content, because it is very important for you to concentrate on the literature review, because it is the heart of the research. Because in the literature review, it discusses about your variables, about the relationship between variables, and the framework, as well as the theoretical underpinning. And the content in literature review needs to be in the form of critical writing, and there will be some statement this author agree, and then there will be another paragraphs on the section that there will be certain authors disagree on certain opinion. That's what I call an engagement in critical writing in the literature review. The literature review needs to be very comprehensive, because you need to identify the literature gaps by utilizing the literature matrix. Okay, so I'll be discussing that later after you coming back from 1 week holiday break. A theoretical framework and hypothesis it is a must to have section in the literature review, because without the theoretical framework and hypothesis for the quantitative approach, that would be some of the drawbacks in the writing in the LR. And then the research methodology is chapter 3. Okay, chapter 2, literature review. Chapter 3 is research methodology. It's much more on the discussion about how you might want to collect data, how you approach respondent, sample size, the target population, and the procedure, the research ethic, as well as could probably your sampling technique. Okay, macam tu lah. So it is much more on you collect the data. And the contribution of research ni dekat chapter 1 sebenarnya. Dia much more on the contribution, much more on the similar to the significance of research. Signifikan mesti kepentingan kajian ini, lebih sumbangan kepada kajian itu boleh masuk dalam satu subtopik yang sama. And time frame tak payahlah, because kalau time frame budget ni semua lebih kepada you might want to apply for a grant kan, dapatkan allocation budget to conduct research, but for your purpose, for the purpose of your RM ni tak perlulah kot. And conclusion ni chapter 5 lah biasa. Tapi kita tak buat conclusion lah, biasa at the end of the chapter you will provide your summary. Conclusion ni biasa chapter 5. And list of references, much important section that you need to put attention. Sebab apa ni, there are so many of your seniors lost mark 0 tu dapat because they are not following APA. So kena guna kaedah Mendeley. So all of you ada 3 orang dalam satu group. So kena at least ada 100 references dekat each of you kena ada 100 references, and then share the same 100 references dekat dalam Mendeley library. So nak ambil 33, and then the best part of the Mendeley reference manager, you can add manually. Kawan ni A ni ada 33, kawan B ambil 33 yang dia ada tu masuk dekat dalam Mendeley library, add by adding it manually. And then dekat dalam Mendeley itu masukkan folder-folder yang tertentu supaya dia tidak ada tidak ada kekeliruan or confusion among the mixture of many papers in your Mendeley library. Okay, itu sajalah. Okay, apa lagi? Alright. Okay, after that you have already collected all the papers, and then all of you have the same document in your own Mendeley library. Semua sama. list of reference is very important for you. All of you to have the same document in the Mendeley library. Mana A ada 100, B ada 100, C ada 100. Gonna combine, share the same material, the same file, supaya nanti bila buat writing, bila buat citation tu dia tak lari. Jadi kalau tidak follow kaedah kepada the systematic reference manager, nanti bila at the end of the paragraph, katakan dia muka surat ke 70 lah, nanti kadang-kadang student dia akan berlebihan sampai 70 muka surat. So bila add to my library, bila insert citation, nanti dia akan jadi selesai lah ikut alphabetical order. But if you are not using the Mendeley library, it will be troublesome for you to get the efficient arrangement in terms of your collection of citations. Collection of citations dekat dalam your proposal nanti akan jadi haywire, nanti dia akan jadi banyak sangat kan. Nanti dia akan take so much time for you to arrange alphabetically kan. Jadi jangan buat begitu. So you do have a system. I've told and taught you how to use Mendeley, so use it wisely and creatively. Okay, okay, tengok lagi apa lagi. Okay, tak ada apa. Ni dah habis lah ni. Content, abstract ni semua nanti kemudian lah ni, introduction semua ni. Okay, introduction. Okay, now when you write your introduction, that's what chapter 1. Chapter 1 ada introduction. You begin the introduction with the background study, problem statement. Problem statement I've told you before. You write the problem statement, the content, the tone of your problem statement needs to represent a negative tone, so that when people or someone who read the lines of your problem statement, it symbolizes the problem, ataupun it represent ataupun it shows that whatever that they have read is real problematic and have a very serious issue kan, macam itulah. Dia kaedah dia begitu. So I've told you before in the class. Yang tu sajalah. Yang lain-lain semua benda yang biasa kita dah belajar. Ni kemudian lah, theoretical framework pun dah belajar. Yang ni pun sudah ni tadi, budget, ada reference. Okay, this one manager implication. This one is much more on the significant the contribution of research. Manager implication biasa, kalau manager implication ni biasa kalau kita letak dekat dalam chapter 5 lah. Tapi biar ni kita letak di awalan lah, the significant of research, di mana kepada apa dan untuk siapa, macam itulah. So that's all for our class today about research design and some of the elements of topic that need to comply and then to meet to all the expectation in chapter 1. So if you have any questions, you can always ask me in the Telegram group. Okay, itu saja from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi, and have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.